Welcome everybody, and in this lecture we'll discuss about some sections. They are section 44AD, section 44ADA and section 44AE. Now, till now whatever sections we discussed, compared to that, these sections are completely different. Why it is different? Let me tell you. Till now whatever sections we discussed, it talks about computing your business income in one way, which is perfectly the normal way. But for a normal businessman, for a small businessman, is it actually possible to remember so many sections, so many intricacies, and compute the business income with understanding of so many conditions? For a small businessman, you think, is it possible? So the answer is no. So small businessman expects that government should give them a simple method to compute the income and simple way to pay the tax. And to meet the interest of that small businessman, right, government has brought these sections 44AD, 44ADA and 44AE. Now what are these sections? These sections, very simple way it tells. They ask a small businessman, tell me, what is your turnover? He says, sir, it is 80 lakhs, sir. Okay. How you deal in it? Sir, I deal in cash. Okay. 80 lakhs into 8%, how much? Sir, 6 lakhs 40,000. Okay. This is your income. That's it. Sir, I need not even think about section 32-38. Yes, need not think. Sir, 40 disallowances. Arey, forget about it. 43B, sir. Arey, forget, yaar. 41 deemed income. Arey, yaar, you forget. So simple system. Yes, that's what section 44AD is. Now, let me tell you, 44AD applies to whom? Actually, resident individual, resident HUF, and resident partnership firm. Right? Resident individual, resident HUF, and resident partnership firm. Right? So, section 44AD applies to three different types of assessees. Who are they? Tell me. To resident individual, resident HUF, and resident partnership firms. These three people only this section applies. So if somebody asks you section 44AD, you should tell 44AD applies to resident individual, resident HUF, resident partnership firm. That's it. Then to whom these sections don't apply? So basically 5 entities are there. Who are they? First is limited liability partnership. Now why we wrote limited liability partnership? Because just above this line you see we wrote resident partnership firms. So it is applicable to partnership firm registered under the Indian Partnership Act 1932. But it is not applicable to limited liability partnerships registered under the LLP Act 2008. So not applicable to LLPs. Similarly, they said that if your business is earning income through commission or brokerage, like you would have seen websites like No Broker, right? No, they write No Broker, but their main business is brokerage. So if businesses are like that they are into commission business or brokerage business, for that businesses, that income, this section doesn't apply. Similarly, agency business is there. So for agency business, this section applies. The answer is no. For agency business also, this section doesn't apply. So what I said? I said this section doesn't apply to limited liability partnership. This section doesn't apply to incomes which are like commission or brokerage. This section doesn't apply to people in agency business. This section doesn't apply to specified professionals mentioned under section 44AA. like something like engineering services, right? Film artist, interior decorator. Are you able to understand? Right? To these people, this section doesn't apply. Okay. Now come to the last part of the story. The last story says that this section doesn't apply to plying, hiring, leasing goods carriage vehicle. Plying, hiring, leasing goods carriage vehicle. Right? Under section 44A. So these 5 types of businesses are there to whom this section 44AD doesn't apply. Who are that 5? Limited liability partnership, businesses into agency business, people into commission and brokerage business, people who are specified professionals under section 44AA like film artists, architecture professionals, interior designers, engineering services, medical services, legal services. For these people, this section doesn't apply. For commission brokerage businesses, this section doesn't apply. Agency businesses, this section doesn't apply. Plying, hiring goods carriage vehicle, leasing goods carriage vehicle. Under section 44E, A, they are covered actually. Right? Plying, hiring, leasing goods carriage services. This section 44AE doesn't apply. Okay. Then what happens to these people? 44AD doesn't apply. Right. Yahan tak we did it. Now let's continue. Eligible business. All businesses are eligible. Everybody can just file the return under 44AD. Right. You have to just fill ITR 4. Here it is not written. I am just telling. Right. When that in filing of returns chapter come, at that time you will study. So ITR 4 you have to file to actually get the benefit of 44AD. Now, all businesses are eligible. All other than the 5 mentioned. Okay. Right. Now come to the next part. Think about what is the maximum turnover. Suppose Reliance want to file the return under 44AD. Can they file? The answer is no. Then who can file? Whose turnover is up to 2 crores. Whose turnover is not more than 2 crores. This is how you should remember. Now let me tell you in short. देखो you can see on the screen it's written 3 crores but it's not 3, it's 2. Just a small correction, you do it. Okay. So it is 2 crores. If your turnover is up to 2 crores, then this section applies. Okay. But suppose your receipts in cash are up to 5%. Your receipts in cash are up to 5%. So if your receipts in cash are up to 5%, not more than 5%, then also this section applies. How? Up to turnover of 3 crores. Let me again repeat for you. Right? Suppose example, I say my business turnover is 1 crore. Will this section apply? The answer is yes. If I say my business turnover is 1.5 crore, will this section apply? Yes. If I say my business turnover is exactly 2 crores, then this section applies. The answer is yes. If I say my business turnover is 2 crore 1 rupee, will this section apply? The answer is generally no. But we can ask a small question. Ganeshji, your turnover is digital, that means through account pay check electronic mode, or in cash. But if it is in cash also, how much percentage in cash? I said in cash less than 5%. Oh, in that case, don't worry. Even if your turnover is 2 crore 1 rupee, still you can file return under this section. If your turnover is up to 3 crores, still you can file the return under section 44AD. You can compute the income under 44AD. You can file ITR 4. But when? The answer is only when if your cash receipts are up to 5%. Is this clear to you? Right? So what I said, if cash receipts are up to 5 crore, cash receipts up to 5%. Cash receipts up to 5%. Balance 95% or more through account pay check, through demand draft, then definitely the limit is 3 crores. In other case, 2 crores is the limit. So if it is less than this limit, then you can file return under ITR 4 and compute income under 44AD. Okay, right. Now, deductions. You can claim any deductions under 80C to 80U, but not 80HH to 80RRB. 80HH to 80RRB. Right? This way you are supposed to remember. So please remember like this, right? 80HH to 80RRB. These sections you cannot claim deduction. Right? 80I, 80IA, IC, right? LT, LA, all these sections related deductions you cannot claim what they wanted to tell. So from 80C to 80U you can claim deductions. 80C you can claim, 80CCC you can claim, 80CCD you can claim, 80D you can claim, 80DD you can claim, 80DDB you can claim, 80E you can claim, 80EE, 80EEA, 80EEB you can claim, 80G, GG, GGB, GGC you can claim. But you cannot claim from 80HH to 80RRB. Okay? Right? Yes. So this you have to remember. Then I wanted to tell you that you have to compute the income. But how will you estimate it? For that I wanted to tell you something. Listen carefully. So you have to convert or divide your turnover in two parts. One is the turnover through your account pay check, demand draft, or any other electronic mode. This is one part. And the second part is others. That means basically cash, bearer check, right? Or crossed check which is not account pay. This is one group. So now if it is through account pay check or demand draft or electronic mode, 6% of your turnover is your income. And if it is cash, bearer check or crossed check but not account pay, then 8% of the turnover is your income. Like this you have to remember. Now come to the next story. Can you actually declare higher income than what is given? Like estimation we gave just now. But can you declare higher income? The answer is no. Sorry, the answer is yes. So basically, if you want to declare a higher percentage of income, you are allowed, perfectly fine. Right? Like this, you have to remember the entire content which we discussed till now. Let me again repeat for you. This section applies to whom? This section applies to basically resident individual, resident partnership firm, resident Hindu undivided family. Not applicable to commission broker businesses, agency businesses, LLPs, right? And then I want to tell you that 44A is accessories like hiring, leasing, goods carriage vehicles, right? And also to specified professionals like film artists under section 44AA who are mentioned under 44AA, right? Then we discussed all businesses are eligible other than the listed. Then what is the maximum turnover? If your cash receipts are up to 5% only in the entire business, then please remember you can have the maximum bar of 3 crores, and up to 3 crores turnover businessman also can compute income under 44AD and file return under ITR 4. And suppose if cash receipts are more than 5% of your turnover, then please remember one thing. अरे ध्यान से सुनना मेरी बात. Please remember one thing that turnover limit is 2 crores only. And then finally, I wanted to tell you how will we estimate income. If it is through account pay check, demand draft or electronic mode, 6% of your turnover. Other type of turnover like turnover in cash, turnover in bearer check, turnover in cross check which is not account fee, 8% of turnover is your income. And if you have to declare higher income, obviously yeah, you are allowed to declare higher income also. Now once you compute income like this, then what about deductions under section 30 to 38? The answer is they are deemed to be allowed. They are deemed to be allowed. Okay. What about depreciation? It is deemed to be allowed. That means we have to believe that we have claimed the deductions. That means can you claim depreciation or deductions under 30 to 38 again? The answer is no, no, no. Okay. That's it. Please remember like this. Okay. They are already deducted, so no need to deduct it again. It's deemed that they are deducted, and that's why so much small percentage taken. Okay. Depreciation is deemed to be deducted. Now here depreciation is deemed to be deducted in computing income. But for computing the WDV of the assets, you have to compute depreciation. You have to show depreciation, deduct it from the assets so that, deduct it from the block we should use here. Correct? So that you can get the opening block of the next year. Like this, you are supposed to remember the topic. Okay. Now, what about set off and carry forward? What about deductions under 80C to 80? I said set off of losses. If there is any loss which can be set off or carried forward adjusted, that should be allowed. But I'll ask you one more question, that what about deductions? So 80HH to 80RRB cannot be claimed. Deductions under other sections can be claimed. That's it, you should remember. Now, somebody want to exit from 44AD and file return under the normal procedure which we discussed till now. He can do so, right? But if you file return under normal regime or not file under 44AD, first you filed under 44AD, later on now you are filing under normal. So suppose example in 2022, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25, you filed under 44AD. In 25-26, you filed under the normal PGBP provision. Then for next 5 years, you cannot file again the income under 44AD, or you cannot compute the income under 44AD and file ITR 4. So 25-26 you decided you want to file under normal provisions, not under 44AD. Okay. Then 26-27 assessment year to 30-31 assessment year, you are blocked to compute return, compute income under 44AD and file return under ITR 4. Right? Sometimes you may say, my income is even less than 86% whatever it is given, sir. Okay. Then what you are supposed to do is, you can declare lower income under this section. No problem. Lower percentage you can declare. You can say, my income is just 2% of the income. 2% of the turnover. You show. Who said no to you? But then you have to prepare accounts as per section 44AA. Then you are supposed to prepare or get the tax audit done by a chartered accountant under 44AB. These two things become compulsory. So if you want to show lower income under 44AD, then you have to get books of accounts prepared as per 44AA and done tax audit under 44AB. Suppose your turnover is 80 lakhs and entire receipts are in cash. So 80 lakhs into 8%, how much it will come to? 6 lakhs 40,000. So when I said 6 lakhs 40,000, now you want to say that my income is even less than that. Okay, no problem. How much? 3 lakhs, 2 lakhs. No problem. You can show. But then maintain the books of accounts as per 44AA and get the tax audit done as per section 44A. Right? That means what? Suppose you are filing return under ITR 4 and you are actually computing income as per 44AD and is ready to show that standard 68% income, then you need not maintain any books, need not maintain any or get tax audit done also. So you are not supposed to do tax audit, you are not required to maintain books. Right? This is how they said. But when if you show that specified percentage income which is given in the law, if you show less than that, get the accounts prepared and audit done. That's it. So I completed section 44AD. Now, shall we go to section 44ADA? Section 44ADA exactly almost the same. And AE is also almost the same. So we'll quickly do it now. Okay. Now, what to whom this 44ADA section applies? Obviously to resident individual. And obviously to resident partnership firms. Not to LLP. So resident individual, resident partnership firms, but not LLP. This is how you should remember. Okay. Is section 44ADA applicable to Hindu undivided family? The answer is no. Why? Because 44ADA talks about specified professionals like film artist, engineering professionals, medical professionals, legal professionals, accountancy professionals, architectural professionals. So we are talking about professionals. So it can be individual, it can be firm. It cannot be family business. That's why this section is applicable to resident individual, resident partnership firm, not to LLP, not to Hindu undivided family. Obviously not to other assessees also. What is the eligible business? Eligible business for 44ADA specified professional is simple. Please remember, it is professionals like legal, medical, architectural, right? Interior designers who are mentioned under section 44A. Okay, for them this section applies. Now, what is the maximum limit of turnover? Here also two turnover limits are given. Suppose cash receipts are less than 5% or up to 5%, right? Cash receipts are less than 5% up to 5%. Then remember, cash receipts are less than 5% up to 5%. Then remember 75 lakhs. In all other cases, 50 lakhs is the maximum limit. So remember, cash receipts are up to 5%, 75 lakhs. Cash receipts are up to 5%, 75 lakhs is the limit. And other than that, 50 lakhs is the limit. So this is the maximum turnover. Suppose you cross this maximum turnover, can you file return under 44ADA? The answer is no. If your gross receipts is within these limits, then you can file return under, compute income under 44ADA. That is, you can file ITR 4. Here also ITR. Okay. So we got the maximum turnover limit also here, gross receipts limit also here. Correct? Now, we have to understand, if you want to declare higher income, right, you are always allowed. But then, what is the estimated income? First understand. We understood the maximum turnover limit, right? 50 lakhs, 75 lakhs, correct? Cash receipts up to 5%, balance is through account pay, check, demand draft, electronic mode, then 75 lakhs is the limit. In all other cases, 50 lakhs is the maximum limit. Now your gross receipts are within the limit. Then what is the estimated income? Estimated income is 50% of the gross receipt. Professionals here, they work through brain, intellect, thinking. So they don't have expenditure much. So that's why government said 50% of the gross receipts is your income. Right? Now you may say, sir, 44AD, 6%, 8% you say. 44 ADA direct to 50% usage. Are there, he is a trader. He is selling goods, buying goods. Percentage margin would be very less. That's why 44 AD they said 86%. But here it is professional under 44 ADA. So 50% of the gross receipts is your income. If you want to show higher income, it's your choice. Okay. And every year you have the privilege that this time I want to file under 44 ADA. Next year I can file the return under normal provisions. Next year I can file under 44 ADA. Your choice. Government don't restrict. Okay. This is what we have to understand. Now balance provisions are very easy. There was section 30 to 38 deductions. Deemed to be deducted, so no need to deduct again. Depreciation, it is deemed that it is deducted, no need to deduct depreciation again. Right? Then 80C to 80U, any deduction you want to claim, you compute your gross total income of the assessee from all heads, all different businesses. Then you claim 80C to 80U deduction. No problem. There is no restriction also. Okay? Right. Then what they said? Set off of loss. Can you claim set off of loss? The answer is yes. Because here partnership firm is predominant, can you claim partner's salary, partner's commission bonus as deduction, interest paid to partner as deduction? The answer is absolutely yes. Right? Under 40B, whatever is permitted limit, that you can claim it as deduction. Right? Now, we discussed about 30 to 38 deduction. We discussed about deductions under 80C to 80U. We discussed about set off of losses. We discussed about something like we have to discuss this section. Very important, this part. That can you change the method? Like I want to file return under 44 ADA now. Next year I want to file under normal. It's perfectly allowed. So switch is possible. Okay. Can you show lower income? The answer is you can show same income, that is 50% of gross receipts, or higher income. Then no need to maintain books of accounts under 44A. 44AB tax audit also not required. But if you want to show lower income than 50%, then definitely you have to maintain the books as per 44A, preserve it for 6 years, and also get the tax audit done as per 44AB. Like this, you are required to remember the topic. Right? Now, shall we go to the next section, that is 44AE. Now, there is nothing much to discuss in 44ADA. As I said, same way it will continue. Now, remember, we are going to talk about 44AE. What is 44AE? Plying, hiring, goods carriage vehicle. Plying, hiring, leasing, goods carriage vehicle. Which section? 44AE. 44AE. Right? Till this point, it is perfectly fine. Now, next point I wanted to tell you. To whom this is applicable? It's applicable to all assessees. Right? When we talk about 44AE, it's applicable to all assessees. There is no restriction whether it is individual or HUF to applicable to all. But there is a restriction on vehicles because it is goods carriage vehicle related concept. Maximum 10 vehicles you should have. How many vehicles? Maximum 10 vehicles. Any time during the previous year, not more than 10 vehicles. This you have to remember. Okay. Till this point is clear to you. Not more than 10 vehicles. Then you can continue. Suppose you have 11 vehicles, 12 vehicles. Can you file compute income under 44AE? The answer is no. If in throughout the year, not even a single day, you have vehicles more than 10, then definitely you can file or you can compute income under this section. Suppose you have more than that vehicles, then forget about this section, forget about the computation. Okay, clear to all of you? Right? Which assessee? The assessee who is into plying, hiring, leasing goods carriage vehicle. How many vehicles should be there? Not more than 10. Now, did you purchase the vehicle on hire purchase basis or on installment basis? Did you pay the amount? Did you not pay the amount? All these doesn't matter. Only one thing matters. Are you the owner of the vehicle? That's it. And how many vehicles are there? Okay. Up to 10, then this section applies to you. What is the income? The estimated income is very simple. Is it a small vehicle or heavy vehicle? If it is small vehicle, 7,500. Now please write down in the notes 7,500 per month per vehicle. So 7,500 per month per vehicle. Now the next question comes. Heavy goods vehicle. They said 1,000 rupees per ton capacity. 1,000 rupees per ton capacity of the vehicle. That is your income. So this income is computed if I use the vehicles, correct? The answer is no. Whether you use the vehicle, whether you don't use the vehicle, right? Whether you partially use the vehicle, all this doesn't matter. Only thing matters is simple. Only one thing matters. What is it? Tell me. Only one thing matters, that are you the owner of the vehicle? That's it. So if you are the owner, is it a small or heavy vehicle? Small vehicle 7,500 per month. Heavy vehicle 1,000 per gross weight, per ton gross weight. What is heavy vehicle? If the vehicle has the load capacity of 12,000 kgs, kilograms, right? Then it is a heavy vehicle. Come on, remember. So 12,000 kgs capacity vehicle is basically a heavy vehicle. So now we got the definition of heavy vehicle. So if any vehicle has less than 12,000 kgs capacity, then it is a small vehicle. Okay. Right? This way you have to remember. So heavy vehicle means basically a vehicle which has 12,000 kilograms of capacity. Right? Or more. And small vehicle is if the capacity is less than that. Okay. Can they claim the deduction under section 30 to 38? The answer is no, because it is deemed to be deducted. Can they claim depreciation? The answer is no, it is deemed to be claimed. Can they claim 80C to 80U? The answer is yes, they can claim 80C to 80U as deduction. Okay. Section 30 to 38 not allowed. Depreciation not allowed. But deductions under 80C to 80U, yes, they are allowed. Set off and carry forward, yes, you can deduct. So 80C to 80U, if you satisfy that conditions under that section, then allowed. Right? Point is clear? Second thing, come on, remember, 80C to 80U, section deductions allowed. And next thing, set off and carry forward of losses, yes, allowed. And finally, I want to tell you, can you shift from this section to normal provisions of PGBP? Yes, no problem. You can come back again. Yes, no problem. Is there any time limit? Like in 44AD, 5 years rule is there na? Once you shift for 5 years, you cannot change. Here under 44AE or even under 44ADA, these conditions are not there. That 5 years you should be blocked under one way of computation. No. If you want to shift, every year you file return, you can change. Your choice. So like this, you are supposed to understand the topic. Can you show lower income? The answer is yes, you can show lower income than the specified. If you want to show lower income, how to do that? Maintain books under section 44AA and get the tax audit done under 44AB. Right? Maintain books of accounts under 44AA and get the tax audit done under 44AB. That's it. Okay. This way you are supposed to remember the things. Only if you want to show lower income. If you are showing exact the given income as per section 44AE, no problem. More than that, no problem. You show. But less you want to show, then maintain books of accounts. Then do the tax audit. Suppose if you are showing the same income as given in the section or more than that, then no need to maintain books. No need to get tax audit done. Only if you are showing less than that, then get the books of accounts prepared as per 44A and get the tax audit done as per 44A. Like this, you are actually supposed to compute the income. Right? Whatever 44AE I said, please you have to remember. Now, one thing I'll tell you, computational perspective. If you own the vehicle even for part of the month, it is treated as you held the vehicle for the whole month. Right? Because we discussed it, that if it is a small vehicle, 7,500 per vehicle per month. If it is a heavy vehicle, 1,000 rupees per ton, right? 1,000 rupees per ton or for the gross weight, we discussed it. In case of heavy vehicle. But please remember, this is monthly figures. And that's why I said, if you hold the vehicle as an owner for even a single day in a month, you are treated as owner and you have to show this income for that month, for that vehicle. This knowledge you should have while computing the income. So final recap we'll do for this section, right? Hey, to whom this section applies? For those assessees who are into plying, hiring, leasing goods carriage vehicle. How many vehicles? Not more than 10 throughout the year. Right? Right. Third, small vehicle 7,500 per month per vehicle. Heavy vehicle 1,000 per ton per month. Right? Heavy vehicle means 12,000 kgs or more capacity. So if it is below, it's small vehicle. 36 to 38 deductions not allowed. Depreciation not allowed. But 80C to 80U or set off and carry forward, yes, they are allowed. Switching from this section in computing the income to normal provisions of PGBP or from normal to this, perfectly allowed. No problem. Suppose if the number of vehicles increase, you cannot file compute the income under this section or file return under return ITR 4. Okay. Now, shall we go to the next part? Set off and carry forward, yes, allowed. Right? If you want to show lower income, maintain books and get tax audit done. Like this, you are supposed to remember each and every section. That's it. In this video, we tried to cover these 3 sections. In the next video, we'll discuss some miscellaneous sections under PGBP, and in the next video 44AB, which has 40AB, 40B, right? 40B in relation to assessment of partnership firms we are going to discuss. So next 2 videos will cover all concepts and problems we are anyhow doing side by. Any doubts are there, you actually try to contact me. I'll be very happy to answer, right? Whether you have taken my courses or listening on YouTube, doesn't matter. You can ask me doubts. My numbers are always available easily. You can get it. Okay. Chalo. Bye bye everybody.